Hey there guys, welcome back and welcome to another episode of Vampyr. So I discovered the hospital, met a few people, that was the boring part, so I totally ignored that and thought I would continue from here. So okay, so there is this one lady who thinks she is a vampire and she thinks someone is spying her so that um, they could kill her or something. So let's find out if this woman is right or wrong. In the meantime, I will have to turn my mic off. Okay, so some men who want to her into because she's a vampire, she's here from follow. I can't take risk of having this.
Good evening,
Okay.
Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together. Dr. Reid. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival. I am Thoreau Strickland.
Let's see. He's the one who is
Please, could you tell me something about yourself? I'm a
spying
great
on her.
admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reid. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future. What made you choose to be a doctor? I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired...
Oh,
I'll give you some advice, but understand that nothing beats practical Of course, sir. And don't worry, I will never allow myself to be a... I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me. I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first... As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain... You're not the first one to warn me. But I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this...
okay, so we got something.
What can you tell me? Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. You seem quite optimistic. I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance. Questions remain about our capacity. True. Last summer, during the... Do you need help with anything? Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished. Do you want me to play the errand boy for you? Oh no, Dr. Reid. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need. I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Okay, and
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods? It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced with the influenza and all that's going on, I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use. So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride? Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science. Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques. Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique... What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point? Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient. This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain... I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient. Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake? All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with... Tell me, Mr. Fiddick. Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident. But why would he hide such crucial information from us? Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Okay.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Okay.
Let you down, my boy.
Good evening, sir.
I don't know if
I see.
I'm Harvey Fiddick.
Okay, a lot of
Tell me about yourself, Mr.
I'm just a regular guy.
I was more curious about...
I'm a carpenter.
Are you satisfied?
Well,
I won't lie to you about it.
are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reid?
In other circumstances, you would be right. Tell me about the doctors who...
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the...
What do you mean? Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
I'm all right. Considering the state of this place, I should...
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel...
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose...
How could your job be responsible for
I
you?
was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a...
You can't hold yourself responsible for your...
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm...
Oh,
Tell me more about the death of...
1915. I was in the army.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction.
I'm sorry for your loss. So...
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little
How are your children?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Ellen didn't...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening,
Not
Dr.
officially.
Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reid.
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reid.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen.
Good
Okay,
evening, madam.
she's new.
It's my son who needs.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid.
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer.
What can you tell me about...
Not much to say.
Are you really that rich? Most of...
Yes, thanks to my husband.
May I ask if you have an occupation?
I'm a teacher by profession.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints? Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming.
Tell me more about your arrival at the
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a...
She charged you for a...
Yes, and I paid without question,
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reid. But I'm aware...
Okay.
Do you require medical attention as...
I have other concerns right now, Doc.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Still my sweet girl.
Good evening. I'm Dr...
No.
Really?
I don't want to talk.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here.
Yes,
Could you at least tell...
Mortimer.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She's...
My mother just wants the best for me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reid.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor,
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my...
How painful is...
So painful, I'd rather not talk at all.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate.
Not really. Yes, maybe.
How painful.
So painful.
I'll let you get some rest.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
Tell me about you.
I don't want to talk.
Okay.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
You always knew the words to calm the children. As for me,
I'm so tired.
What can I do for you?
Will this shift never end?
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Okay, there is a guy up there.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reid.
Do you need my
Not
assistance?
at all.
Tell me, Waverly.
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and...
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blocked?
rivalry. I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings of...
Why do you wish to lead?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
Tell me what...
Strickland.
Are you thinking... Why do other people...
Conserve.
Okay, so I cannot.
Thank you for your time. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, Miss
I
Howard.
need blood, Doctor.
I'll leave you,
Okay, so
Mistress
this
of
is
the
the
Dark.
woman. And I have to search for the person that she's claiming.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Oh, come on. So the person that she's saying that has been looking out for her.
It's locked.
Not now.
It's locked. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Okay, so that's my place.
The flower's dying. It needs water. The flower's dying. It needs water.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I don't have anything to overload, so maybe let's sleep then. Okay. I have a few tasks at hand. There are 2 people left. I can mesmerize Thomas and Lord and Fictionalised. And I can get some details from them. Pembroke Hospital.
It's locked, all right.
Okay. Let's analyze the bishop's blood.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation.
I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
I'm sorry you ended up on a plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation.
I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass
grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
I cannot enter.
Okay, apparently I don't know what
I'm
to
sorry
do
you
here.
ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
Okay.
Good evening, nurse.
Doctors,
Did he really?
all members.
I see.
You must know.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working?
If it wasn't for him, I probably...
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse.
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration...
I'm not
Brilliant
most.
It would be in a...
Is there
Suggesting
anyone?
the
Well,
Why
this
should he?
question.
I guess it's...
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something,
No.
do you require medical?
Thank you for your...
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Doc.
Okay. What was this? Um, yeah.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
Please show me what you have.
Of course.
Okay, this is. Let's continue in the next episode. Until then, like and subscribe and take care.